Hey everybody, I'm Philip.
And I'm Justin.
And together we are Pajamas. And we are taking our first steps from a post-season 4, pre-season 5 landscape. We're starting the first of a handful of specials that are a very long bridge from 4 to 5. No idea what to expect coming into this because Doctor's alone again, Donna's gone, everyone else left.
That's actually very interesting. At the end, everybody came. Then everybody left.
Yeah. Hopefully, one blonde nightmare is gone for good. Fingers crossed. And yeah, I guess we'll just find out. And the only way to find out is to watch. So, you ready?
Yes, I'm very excited to see.
I'm tentatively cautious. So,
well, that's good. That makes it more suspenseful.
Not the good kind. All right.
Yeah, suspense is suspense. Which I know seems like me being a hypocrite because I hate it when people say it is what it is. Oh, I hate that phrase.
Without further ado, let's get into it. Don't be happy, you just lost Donna. Stop it.
You there, boy? What day is this?
Christmas Eve, sir.
What year?
You thick or something?
Hey! Well, I'm standing right here.
Don't be stupid. Who are you?
I'm the doctor.
Doctor who?
Oh, that's new.
It reminds me of that one special in which the Doctor saw a past version of himself.
Yeah, but this seems to be
a future one, possibly.
Or something. Or just another one. But yeah, so I'm not sure if this is a existing Time Lord or if this is someone that's an imposter or what. I guess we'll find out.
Rosita,
I'm ready.
now watch and learn.
Was Rosita his companion? That would hurt. Your booty. Go, Rosita.
Rosita. Good name. Hello, Rosita.
Now I'll have to go and dismantle the traps.
No, I'm just Smith, John Smith. But I've heard all about you, Doctor.
When I turn my mind to the past, there's nothing.
Going how far back?
Since the Cybermen. But they are creatures from another world.
Really? Wow.
It's said they fell onto London.
Gotta be careful with memory loss. One wrong word.
It's strange. And you don't blink, Mr. Smith.
Ah, don't blink. Remember that? Whatever you do, don't blink. The blinking and the statues.
You will be heralded in the new age at the court of the Cyber King.
This is hardly work for a woman.
Oh, don't make me saving your life.
You ask a lot of questions.
I'm your companion. I can't help noticing you're wearing a fob watch.
Is that important? Unlike any organism of the natural world. Shh! What's that noise?
Whistling.
Good whistler.
This device. The night I lost my mind. The Cybermen.
The Doctor will be deleted.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
Okay, this is really your last one.
But that's why the late Reverend Fairchild had to die.
To gather you all in one place.
Monstrous witch.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Why we spared? What you need?
There she is. By transport through time and space. The TARDIS. It stands for Tethered Aerial Release, Developed in Style. You see?
JL. The watch is Jackson Lake's.
Jackson Lake is you, sir.
But I'm the Doctor.
The Cybermen's database. Really, I am so sorry. But that's an awful lot of luggage for one man.
Oh, that's
cheating, sneaking out. Do you have your legs on silent?
Offered me the one thing I wanted. Liberation.
Who are ya?
You can be quiet. I doubt he paid you to talk.
Tell me one thing. What do you need those children for?
What are children ever needed for? They're a workforce.
But for what?
Very soon now, the whole empire will see perfect day for a birth. With a new message for the people. Only this time it won't be the words of a man.
The birth of what?
Yeah.
Can I say I completely disagree?
Perhaps that's the key to defeating these invaders. So, onwards.
Maybe you should go back.
Don't even try.
The Dimension Vault. Stolen from the Daleks again. That's how the Cybermen travel through time. Jackson, is this it?
So it looks very Dalek-esque.
I think if you remember correctly, you said I was to be heralded.
All hail the Cyber King.
Promised me you said I would never be converted.
That was designated a lie.
What do the Cybermen want?
Bang.
Oh God, have you no pity?
Correct.
My mind is stronger than you ever thought. It dominates, sir. It dominates you.
And that
The might of your technology combined with my own imagination. Yes! Logic and strength combined with fury and passion.
Merry Christmas.
The Cyber King is what?
It's a ship, Dreadnought class. Front line of an invasion. You've got a reason to live.
Well, you haven't.
Your £5 notes.
All right, what do I do?
This is gonna fly! Can I have my money now? Oh, get on with it.
The Doctor. Yet another man come to assert himself against me in the night.
This heart again?
Damn.
You might have the most remarkable mind this world has ever seen.
I don't need you to sanction me.
No, but such a mind deserves to live.
Then I have made you a failure. Your weapons are useless.
I wasn't trying to kill you. All I did was break the cyber connection, leaving your mind open.
Uh-oh. Damn.
It's gonna fall!
He has done this deed 1,000 times, but not once, no sir, not once, not ever, has he ever been thanked.
He's been thanked before.
Christmas feast in celebration and in memory of those we have lost.
Well, this is nonsense.
Well, that's one word for it.
All those bright and shining companions, not anymore.
Nah, I suppose in the end, they break my heart. Just this once, you've actually gone and changed my mind. Not many people can do that. Jackson, if anyone had to be the Doctor, I'm glad it was you.
Wonderful special taking place in Victorian England.
It was a neat little story.
Yes.
I don't think there's much I can really wax philosophical about this one. It's just, I do find the Cybermen very weak as villains. They're just kind of knockoff Daleks to me. But this was interesting. And
Indeed.
I like the idea of a Cyber King. That was in fact a female that was a Cyber King. I like that her mind was so strong that she was controlling them. I like that there were two doctors.
Yes.
So initially I was kind of like, are we seeing like another River situation? Is this like going to be what he turned into? I was like, I only know the next one I thought. I was like, maybe I'm wrong. And what I thought I knew the next Doctor was going to be, or who it was going to be. So I was like, is this again another River? Or are we seeing the future now kind of thing?
It turns out to be more complicated than that.
Yeah, it was a neat little twist that he had absorbed the Doctor's memories in that moment. And like, I was kind of glad he wasn't the Doctor because he felt very like cartoony, which makes sense because he was a regular human, pretty much cosplaying as what he thought the Doctor would be, from dress to mannerisms and stuff like that. I don't like Tennant's, like Lothario, tendencies. He's also very suave though, in good and bad ways.
Mm-hmm. But
in the good way, I like how he carries himself. Very sophisticated. this guy was kind of bumbling. I was like, we would go from like, sophisticated to this. It'd be like, whoa. I was like, is Rosita going to be like, are we seeing a future companion ahead of time again? I was like, whoa, this is whoa. But no, I guess as we found out, and as we said, it wasn't that at all. So neat idea, neat little misdirection.
Yes, it's actually what I liked possibly the most of this special. The misdirection.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess the entire point was that the Cybermen were going to erect this the Cyber King was essentially the ship, but the person that was housed, the control, was also Cyber King as well.
Which is more of a title than a description of what... Actually, now that I think about it, I actually don't think that the Cybermen really have something like agenda.
Mm-mm.
They're all men in the sense that they simply use that as a term of reference, that it is this and not that.
Right, yeah. But yeah, they were erecting this giant ship that was a giant Cyberman.
Yes, which somehow was able to hide under the Thames.
Yeah. Don't let logic get in the way of a good story, as we've said before.
Well, at the same time, it did show the power of passion, that she was able to override the system and was able to have both logic and passion.
I wanted her to live for that reason. This also felt very much like when there was like human Daleks. Like they were trying to take the one thing that they were absolutely against and integrate it into their own being. So with Daleks, there's no humanity. There's just hate. Everything else is gone. With Cybermen, again, all the feelings are gone. So there's just logic. But she, as you said, she brought in passion, as they said as well. So I like the idea that her mind was so strong. I was like, this is a really strong character as well. You could do a lot with this. Like let her be, a big bad down the line. Because to me, she was far more interesting than the Cybermen were.
Indeed.
I would like to have seen her stick around. Let him teleport her to wherever the shadow, the void or whatever. Of course, everything that goes there finds its way out eventually anyway. So let her come back. I thought she was like, I saw her as the leader of the Cybermen offered so many different avenues that they could have went. And especially for a race or whatever, a group of entities that I find very underwhelming. Like when they appeared on the screen, I was like,
though I was still interested. We haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah. Like I wasn't like mad or like, oh god, this is gonna suck. Because last time we saw them, if I recall correctly, they were fighting the Daleks. So that was fuck yeah, like boom to it's like name brand and great value going at it. I'm glad that the way they wove the story around them made me forget about how much I was just like, when I first saw them.
They also introduced a new kind of Cyberman, one that seemed to be a mixture of man and animal.
Yes, they look like, you might know this, the Japanese demons, or what are they? They have like the big, like, kind of like that, but maybe they were Hanya. Like I'm thinking of something very like this. Kabuki, just with like the mask and then the the hair, and I thought it was really, really cool. But yeah, somehow they manufactured like pets of some sort, They even describe them kind of as such, like they like the
yes, as if they're some kind of mechanical guard dog.
Yeah. They also, as you said, brought in that as well.
And well, yes, they actually looked very interesting in that form.
Oh yeah,
it looked like machine and biology came together.
Yeah,
in some sort of way.
Yeah. Because at first I thought maybe that's what they were doing to the kids. They were turning them into that.
And well, it turned out that actually this special was actually going to be a true portrayal of Victorian England, both the positives and negative sides. In that, yes, they were child labor.
Yeah, they were powering the machine that was unearthing the Cyber King's ship. And then when they were done, they were disposable.
Yes, which is how they were viewed at that time. That scene of them working is very much like what they would be doing in a workhouse. And interestingly, they were using technology that Victorian people would have recognized, with gears being powered by coal, So, although, yes, it was quite a sight to see, it wouldn't have been too outlandish for them to see that. Like, for example, in the episode with Renette.
Yes, yeah. And the springs and the cogs and the clockwork stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was cool that, like, as you just said, they were doing the gears and the coal and all that, but it's still cool that even though they're mechanical, the Cybermen, like, their construct is still metal, the gears, and it's like, I like that it makes sense to what they are. So
Yes.
I thought it was, it's pretty cool, and that they had a piece of like Dalek technology to be able to kind of warp there.
Yes, which was how they were able to even get there in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
It does testify, though, to what, remember the argument that the Daleks and Cybermen had with each other? Of the Daleks saying the inferior technology known as Cybermen, well, they had to rely on Dalek technology to get what they want, whereas Daleks, they don't have to rely on anyone's technology except their own.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
So
yeah.
it does actually lend some credence to that debate that they had.
Mm-hmm. And at least if this was the Christmas special, Christmas special, the next Doctor. Okay, so not two Doctors, the next Doctor. My bad. At least we didn't have like Santa Claus figures playing instruments and then fire the instruments and that kind of thing again. I would like to see new villains eventually. They introduced them here and there.
Mm-hmm.
We had the things that live in the shadows. We had the weeping angels.
Oh yes, they mentioned that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. The don't blink. That was clever. And then we had the being from Midnight that would just like take over. So we have these pockets. We never go any farther than like 2 episodes with them. So I would like maybe revisit them in the future at some point. I understand that the Daleks and the Cybermen are staples of Doctor Who going back decades. I get that. Totally get that. I would like something new eventually. Like you can only go to the well so many times before I'm gonna. I know you love the Daleks, but how many more times are the Daleks gonna show up before I'm just like, here we go again? Like,
you don't want the show to get repetitive
or mundane. Like now, when they bring them back, they do stuff that they kind of weave it in a way that feels different. It's a different approach. But even then, you can only do that so many times before it's like, okay, they're here to take over the world again, and they're gonna fail again. Oh, they're fighting the Doctor and they lose. Dun 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 dun. It's like,
yes.
Come on. Like,
but at least it's done in a very exciting way, like the last time that the Daleks tried to take over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's like old hat yet. I'm saying though, if it even if you bring them back over and over, that's fine. Just bring us new villains, like more big bads. Bring us another like Bad Wolf kind of thing, but not have it be the Daleks. Like have it be some like secret sinister. Like when I thought Bad Wolf was like the secret sinister society out to get the Doctor. Mm-hmm. Explore that. I kind of wish Bad Wolf had been that instead, and the Daleks could have been something separate. But that's me wishful thinking and trying to guess, and hopefully we get it. But we'll find out as we continue our journey through Doctor Who. All right, want to go to notes?
Yes.
All right.
Philip's notes.
I wrote here my first I was like 2 doctors ? I was like, please don't tell me this guy is a future Doctor. I was kind of like I think I would have gotten used to it, but some of y'all would have been mad at me and my assessment of what was going on in the first few episodes of the next season or continuation or whatever when he showed up. If he showed up, he's not going to show up, so that's a moot point. So yeah, moving on. When we thought that the guy was the second Doctor, the other Doctor, he said he was holding this when I lost my mind. When I regenerated, it made me change everything, my face and my mind. I was like, holy shit! Like, what did the Cybermen do that would force the Doctor, like it would force David Tennant, to not just change the way he looked, but to change the makeup of his brain? Like that was so intriguing to me. And then it made the misdirection oh, okay, well, it led us along in such a nice way that it sounded believable and it sounded like, holy shit, like what could possibly have happened? Other than the fob watch, the Time Lord retains its memories. So I thought that was like, whoa, ground. When all Keanu Reeves there, whoa, ground to explore. But I was like, man, like that had to have been pretty, especially since the Doctor's been through so much shit. But what did the Cybermen specifically do that would cause a Time Lord to fracture mentally? Maybe we'll find out in the future. Maybe that will actually happen, but it didn't. It didn't happen. But it was neat to think about in the moment. I did like that when we thought the new Doctor was going to be the new Doctor. I did like, yes, he was kind of bumbling-esque, but I also liked that he was more vulnerable. He'd been through so much in his human mind, but when we thought he was a Time Lord, it just seemed like he'd been through so much and been so fractured that he was kind of broken. And I liked that. It was cool seeing like a Doctor more, as I said, vulnerable. And granted, that wasn't the case. Of course, like everything I'm saying is like null because of what happened, the misdirection and the twist. It's a twist. But M. Night Shyamalan, take notes. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Then we're introduced to Mercy Hartigan, sauntering up to that funeral in that big old red dress with her awesome umbrella or parasol. That was really cool.
Yes, it was a very, as they mentioned, a very bold thing for her to do.
Yeah, and she takes like 4 of them hostage and puts the things in their ears and turns them into slaves, and they gather up the children to go into the sweatshop. And we find out the TARDIS is a balloon. And I'm like, how the fuck does this travel in time? At first, I was like, what?
When I did see that, I was beginning to wonder that his memories are even more fractured than I thought.
Yeah. But then we find out, Eureka, he's Jackson Lake. And the Doctor's memories were imprinted on him from the info stamp. Thumbs up for me on that one. Big thumbs up for me on that one. I like that. Then we get the great line that we both reacted to. What are the children for? What are children ever needed for? A workforce.
Yes.
There you go.
Very, very historically accurate to the time.
Mm-hmm. Then we get, on a minor scale, one of my Doctor idiosyncrasies I don't like. Wait, no, don't kill me, no, hold on, wait.
The stammering.
Just a little bit, just did a little bit. So I wasn't like, but it was like, so they were like, delete him. And, wait. It's fine. I don't get as annoyed by it now as I used to. I just thought it was funny. When it happens, I'm going to mention it, just so y'all know. At first, when Mercy said that the Cybermen gave her liberation, because obviously it implied that she was a prostitute. Like she saw men, taking advantage of her in the night and all that stuff. So when they liberated her from that, I thought, but why her? We found out why her. But in the moment, I was thinking, well, like, why you? Also, decent job by the actress playing a villain. I thought the way she approached the role and brought it to life was well done.
Yes, it was an excellent way for her to express her revenge after being taken advantage of by these men. Now she is going to take advantage of them at their expense.
And that was such an interesting kind of spin on it. It was not only was her mind so strong that she was controlling the Cybermen, but she as a woman wanted to pretty much fight the oppressive patriarchy using her army of Cybermen.
Yes.
Like, I thought that was really fun. There was so much like potential, as said, in her character. I hope maybe we can bring her back somehow in the future, because I think her leading the Cybermen would be aces for a couple more episodes. There was also some social commentary, and there was social situations, and like this need for revenge, and that passion that she had, and the anger, and all of it. It really worked for me. It really worked for me as far as her motivation, because then we find out that Mercy is to become Cyber King, or the conduit for the mechanical thing to rise. Essentially, leader. She sees like glorious things and feels joy, and the Cybermen are like, no, that's not part of no. Then she says she's going to create a new race of Cybermen, and I'm all on board now. I'm like, hell yeah. I didn't want it with the Daleks. I didn't want human Dalek hybrids. I don't like that. But this new hybrid of Cybermen, 100% yes. It makes them more interesting to me. But we're new, and our Cybermen, what we've been exposed to them is very minimal. So again, I've said, and it's probably gonna piss people off because people love Cybermen, but they're just less interesting Daleks to me. Like they even say, delete instead of exterminate. It's just
that is too much like a computer. But for them to have this mixture, it would then be a computer with a passion, an ambition of some kind.
Yeah.
Something that actually does require will.
Like I like the idea of the Cybermen. You know, it's horrifying. Like when we were first introduced to them, it's like, wow, you're just brains inside of a metal body. And then when they found out that, and if they become self-realized, remember that they just like freak out and just like die because it's so much. I like all of that. I just think the presentation of the Cybermen is very mundane and very. But that's why I liked this so much, and I was all on board for it. You know, because then we would have logic combined with passion. So you just had a computer that could feel and had motive.
Yes,
and intent.
Which would make it a very, very formidable foe.
Exactly, yes.
It's actually what makes the Daleks very interesting in that, yes, they have a mechanical view of things, but they don't only have that, they also have anger and hatred.
Yes.
So not every emotion was taken away, so there's still some sort of passion inside of them that compels them to continue on.
Right.
Instead of simply, this is the program, so I'm going to continue doing it for as long as I have the energy to do so. Not very exciting, is it?
Yeah. Then we see the Cyber King ship rise up. And I wrote, if there were ever a Doctor Who video game, this would be a boss. This would be a fun boss to fight. Because I had like the laser and the cannon. I was like, get on that. Let's do a Final Fantasy RPG-esque Doctor Who game. This has to be one of the bosses. And again, one of the things I do like about the Doctor, very much. After all of it, he's pointing, he has the thing, he's pointing at her, and he's like, let me help you. I will find you a planet, no one to take over, you know, no mines to all that, just somewhere you can live and be and exist. Of course, they say, "Wah, you can't stop me," and they lose. But I do like that he's still. I mean, I'm not surprised anymore because I mean, fuck, he gave the offer to Davros, of all fucking people. So it's like greatest enemy, creator of his greatest enemy, also. But it was cool to see him once again try and be.
Yes, being as diplomatic as possible. He doesn't agree with what they're doing, but is offering them a place to live where they can live as they wish to live, on the condition that they leave all of these other planets alone.
Yeah, like he said, like it was said in a past episode, there's always a choice. So I like that it was given again. He zaps her. You didn't kill me. He broke the connection. She was her again. And then, yeah, I was like, that was pretty cool.
And yes, like in the episode of Self-Realization, indeed, she was awoken from this trance and was definitely, understandably traumatized by the situation.
That would be scary.
She even exploded.
Doesn't get much more traumatic than that. Which was disappointing. I wanted her to stick around, but it is what it is. It's fine. We had to verbally blow the Doctor for 5 minutes because all hail, you know, God Doctor. He's never been thanked. Let us rejoice in the Doctor's name. When he's been thanked plenty.
Yes, when I heard that, I thought to myself, what are you talking about? In ancient Roman times, there's a family literally worshipping him as we speak.
Like, I get they are trying really hard to build this martyrdom for the Doctor, but that's probably, if I had to nitpick, that's probably my least favorite part of the episode. I didn't think it was necessary. I get what they were going for. Like, when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Yay! Happy, nice little bow on the Christmas story. But it
is a Christmas special, so something like that's going to be
exactly.
in it.
Like, there's, and have you noticed there's like one in every Christmas special that I'm just kind of like, and you have to say, well, it is a Christmas special, so it's going to be like that. So I'm not like, I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it. I think it was necessary, and it's not true. That's why that's why it bothers me. It's just fundamentally not true. The Doctor is not unappreciated and forlorn. This, oh, he's so much sacrifice. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, well, no one thanks you. No one cares. Oh, no. Oh, quite the opposite. And if people aren't thanking him and revering him, he's doing it himself. Just saying.
Well, the only excuse that I can give is that, well, he does have fractured memories of the Doctor. Maybe that one piece of being thanked was one of the missing pieces.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then we get to talk about the companions. You know, the guy says, you know, you don't have a companion. They say,
Serious somber moment.
yeah, he says, you know, they either leave or they forget me. Or he just says, I suppose they break my heart. And I'm like,
Both of them, actually.
yep. The doctor finally says it.
Coming to terms with this fact that he needs to face himself.
Because when he got off the TARDIS, initially in the beginning, he's all like, stop smiling. No, you just lost Donna. No. No, you're not allowed to be happy yet. I'm not happy yet. Everyone else is happy.
In my defense, I had a big smile because seeing the setting, what everyone's wearing, this could only be one place, Victorian England. So yes, of course I was happy and jovial.
But that's all for my notes. Everything else are from my patrons over on Patreon. It was all right. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was the Christmas special, so neat little twist I said on the Cybermen, and I really like the villainess. Gone too soon. The two doctors was a very cool idea. Misdirection was very cool, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see where we go from here.
Yes.
So I think we have like 4 or 5 more before we get to season 5. So
yes, what a treat! Not only one special, we get more.
Get a bunch of them, which are still kind of weird. Don't understand why, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe there was like production issues, and they couldn't do season 5 right away, so they had to do these like pocket episodes until they got like things finalized or something. I don't know.
The specials are a bridge. Maybe in this case, it's a toll bridge that you have to pay several tolls to get to the other side.
Maybe, yeah. Well, we just paid the first one. We paid the first one. We'll see what we can do when we have enough money to pay the next one. Go a little farther. All right, is there anything else you'd like to add about this episode? It is getting very cold.
Yes.
Like my feet hurt. We have to turn as some of you know, we have to turn like the air and or heat off depending on the season, since we only have 2 anymore. Yes, we are very cold. I'm all scrunched like over here. So we're gonna go turn the heat on and all of that. As always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.